Live from Pizza
And a good evening to you from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show presented by Griffin Insurance, brought to you in part by Buckeye Stoves, Prescription Turf Care, Coverage Electric and Construction, Page One Group for the mugs here, Knox County Veteran Services, and Pizza Cottage. Featured tonight on the program, we've got the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets ahead of their matchup with the Hornets from Licking Heights, which we will have on the WMVO Facebook page and YouTube channel this Friday night, along with on the radio on WMVO. And the East Knox Bulldogs will have their game against the Fredericktown Freddies this Friday night as well. We appreciate the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets joining us here on the program. And usually the coach is beside us, but for good luck, Coach Weber's down at the end. But appreciate them joining us here. Cohen Armstrong is with us. Caden Schlosser, right? Yep. Okay, man, I knew I was going to mess that up. And Mark Weber with us. Appreciate you guys joining us here on the program. With the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, boy, got an opportunity this week to take on Licking Heights at home, and you guys have your first four-game win streak since you opened up 2019 with 4 consecutive wins, and it's got to be feeling good to be the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets right now. And, Coach, when we've talked, we've had you on a couple times on the show, and we've talked about that work in the summer and some of that stuff, and now on the Friday nights that you play underneath the lights, it starts to come to fruition because those close games that you lost last year, you're winning this year. And it's a big difference from what it was. Just looking at it, you've got a tough game against Licking Heights this week, and then you've got tough games against Licking Valley and Granville as well to wrap up the year. Are you happy about where you're at in this position right now as you go into week number 8?
Yeah, I think definitely winning the ugly games. So it could go the other way too, right? But we've been on the winning side, so we have to continue to clean up all the little things, the penalties, the turnovers, just the weird plays at times that we're running, just the weird like false start on a snap infraction, things like that, so that we're not stuck. Because the more times you get stuck in these close games, the more times you have a chance of them not going your way.
Yeah.
So we've talked to the guys about how about we play the game the right way. We're playing it hard. We're playing it with an intense passion, but we need to start really honing in on the skills that we need to beat these. I mean, Licking Heights is a huge school. Yep. Licking Valley, Granville, these are big schools that do it the right way. So we better really come out razor sharp on Friday night.
You got kind of a mixture right now of senior leaders that you have. We got a couple of guys here, and you've got peppered in the young guys as well. How has that kind of worked throughout the season as you've had that success, and while also kind of building those guys up that are young that are going to be making major contributions next year, are already making some pretty big contributions this year, plus your seniors are having an excellent season to this point.
Yeah, it's not like a 100% senior team.
Yeah.
We just have seniors in the crucial leadership, like these two guys here, crucial in the leadership stance to where they've elevated the freshmen. We have freshmen on the field, sophomore on the field, couple freshmen, a couple sophomores, and then some juniors. So there's only maybe at one time 5 seniors on the field. But those 5 seniors are elite leaders that are kind of elevating those guys. That now freshmen really aren't freshmen at this point.
Yeah.
The freshmen are really sophomores.
Yeah.
And the sophomores are really juniors. So that's a tribute to their leadership, and winning those close games is leadership. It really is. Has nothing to do with skill.
Yeah.
It's when you have doubt, are you going to make the play?
Yeah.
And that's what happened Friday night.
All right, let's talk to some of the players here, and we're going to be talking about that game on Friday night, of course, as well. Cohen Armstrong, a senior. What position you play for the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets?
I play left guard on the O-line. So.
All right, that's it. We talk about the offensive line and the importance, and you think about the numbers that the offense is putting up with the running game right now. That's 1/5 of what's going on right now with that offensive line and what you guys have done. When you talk about where you're at right now and just the expectations of this senior group and things, how have you felt throughout the season, some of the things you say, well, we've done well, but we have these expectations to win these football games here down the stretch and get into the postseason.
Yeah, I think we've excelled throughout the year. Like our line coach says, advance every week.
Yeah.
Get better every week, work on our craft. But there's definitely stuff we got to clean up. So like our penalties and stuff, if we clean up that, get even sharper. Advance to the next week so we can win by more. Just keep pushing on. So.
Is it hard to play offensive line with a quarterback that can move like Mason Richardson? Then you got these other guys in the backfield too. Is it tough to play as an offensive line, and you're just like, hey, I'm just going to hit somebody down the field here?
Yeah, I mean it's just like just get your job done. Just do what you're supposed to do. I'm trusting Mason and all my guys in the backfield. Just they're going to go do their job, get the yards. So
we talked about team speed in the offseason as well. How has that helped you as an offensive line? I've seen some video, man. You guys push people around. It's no doubt about it. How has maybe that speed aspect been a part of the offensive line as well?
We've been working it all off season. Yeah. So, it's we're quicker in our feet, quicker in our steps. So, we can get to the, backers quicker, hit the guys quicker. It's just helped overall just really well with the whole team.
You guys have taken care of business to this point on the season. The Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets tied for first in the LCL Buckeye, but the big matchup here this upcoming Friday against the Hornets from Licking Heights. Caden Schlosser is with us. I'm going to have a hard time. I'm going to call you Smith now. I'm kidding. But I appreciate you joining us here. Another senior as well. What position you play for the Jackets?
I play right tackle.
All right, right tackle. So that right side is pretty solid. You guys got it taken care of there.
Yeah.
When you look at some of the things you wanted to accomplish going into this year and the fact that right now you guys are sitting in a pretty good position, but I know Coach would mention job's not finished.
Yeah.
You got some games that are really important ahead of you right now. What are you proud about your group right now, your unit with the offensive line, and this team in general?
I'm proud of the O-line blocking mostly every single play. Yeah. And that we're driving people back. We're getting pancakes.
Yeah.
We're just winning up front and controlling the line of scrimmage, and no one can compete with us.
And I'll tell you what, if you win the line of scrimmage, and we saw it, I think, with Curtis saw it with the Centerburg game on Friday as well, and you win the line of scrimmage, and then we let those skill guys like Mason and Jake and all these different guys, and Luke, and you let them eat there. Boy, it makes it for a successful game plan every single week. What has maybe your offensive line coach mentioned to you about each and every week as you get into a game and knowing the physicality of the Licking County League and just the physicality of high school football overall?
Well, since week one, he told us job's not finished. You got to rebuild every single week. You got to start where you left off, and you just got to keep building on that all year.
Well, Coach, you look at this unit of the offensive line, and you got the couple of seniors here up front. I'm not sure all the pieces there on the offensive line. I know you had an offensive lineman. That was a tremendous play on Friday. I saw the video. I know we're going to talk about that game as well. But what these guys do, it often goes underappreciated because they say, well, look at this. He's run for 300 yards. Look at this. But they don't think about these guys up front and the work that they're doing to make that happen. And it's crucial. Brian and I have talked about on Friday nights, the offensive line is a very important. If you don't have a good one, you may just kiss your season goodbye, right?
Right, yeah. First it starts with coaching.
Yeah.
So the offensive line takes a very technical coach that is animated. So Coach Johnson is our O-line coach. He's best in the area, period, the end. He is a phenomenal O-line coach. Probably one of the best in Central Ohio, straight up. So last year we were still rushing last year for 300 yards a game.
Yeah.
But we weren't getting the result. It was like we're getting to the 5 and something would happen, right, Co? It would be like a penalty. It would just like there was a wall there, and kind of Mason with his top end speed has broke through that wall. So now that the line's always been good. It was just been at the finish we couldn't pierce it, right? Early in the year after that Harding game, once the floodgates opened, now it's like a mindset.
Yep.
And if they're not scoring, they're mad. They scored 28 last week. They should have scored 42. They left 2 scores out, and the O-line's not real happy about it because those skill guys, they make the holes. It's their job to get the ball down the field.
Yeah.
They make the holes. The skill guys got to get the ball down. They don't carry the ball, except last week. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Except last week, Nolan White. It's so crazy. The game has like its own organic chemistry, right?
Yeah.
And Nolan is one of the guys that has never missed. Ask Cohen. Nolan has never, ever, ever missed in 4 years.
Yeah.
He could be sick. He's going to be there. So for him to take the ball from Mason, it kind of fumbled out, but it never hit the ground, but it just kind of fumbled out. He just picks it up and goes.
Yeah.
So now the joke is that he took it out of Mason's hands.
That's what it looked like in the video. Now, am I seeing it different?
It was like
That's what it looked like.
Kind of.
Okay.
Okay, he kind of did.
I thought it was like the Caleb Williams moment. You remember seeing that when he was at Oklahoma? He just ripped
His
it
knee
from
was almost down.
Okay.
And like,
yeah, it was close.
It was so close,
Yeah.
and I think it was like here. And it was really cool because they don't get much, accolades outside of the team. But
Yeah.
what I can say is our team is always O-line first.
Yeah.
Okay, so the O-line's going to get the praise. They also are going to get the yelling, right?
Yeah.
They're going to. We were beating Heath at halftime, and we took them back in the showers because
yeah.
it was the only quiet place, and we're just ripping them in the showers,
Yeah.
like, dude. And they're looking at me like, what? We're at 200 yards rushing. We're like, it's not our standard, right?
Yeah.
And Cohen kind of looked at me like, man, this guy needs to chill. This guy needs to relax. And then after we get to say, sorry, Cohen, you actually graded out really high.
Yeah.
He's like, thanks, Coach. But this group takes that like criticism, and it fuels them.
Yeah.
Some groups, they start to block less if you yell at them. This group takes criticism, they take it serious, and they perform. I think they're averaging about 300 yards a game right now, rushing.
Well, yeah.
So we're right at that. It's like 299 or 300.
Awesome. With that discussion there at Heath and those kind of things, how does that fuel you? And what was kind of the discussion there at Heath when in that moment? And then you guys obviously step up your game.
Yeah, I mean, we were down on like the half-yard line, and I got an offside. So I think that's kind of what the conversation was about. But he was in there, taking the criticism. I'm like, all right, I got to go back out, got to go, keep driving, and that's just what we did. I kind of took the first half, didn't do too great, but the last 2 quarters I was just kind of all in, just pancakes everywhere. So
I really like it. For you, Caden, looking back at that Heath game, what stood out to you in that one when coaches mentioned it to you, and then you guys obviously come out and take care of business?
Well, when the coaches were criticizing us, I was kind of giggling in the back because I don't take things serious that much, but like when I'm in the game, I take things serious, but not during halftime. I need to start taking things serious more.
Well, you guys are taking care of business on the field and looking forward to another win. Friday night, we're going to have the game on the WMVO Facebook page and YouTube channel, so join us for that. And, of course, on the radio on WMVO 100.9 FM, 93.7 HD2, and WMVO.com. It's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show live from Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon. Let's take this break. We'll come back, and more coming up on WMVO.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
Hello?
Hey, Joe, Tom here. Listen, is your yard booked for next weekend?
Yeah, the Joneses family reunion.
All right, how about the weekend after that?
Yep, Mrs. Smith's Card Club.
And the weekend after that?
Oh, that's the Thompsons' graduation party. You might as well get used to that if your yard is taken care of by Prescription Turf Care. Everybody wants to use your backyard. Call 740-397-1203 and ask about a free no-obligation estimate.
If you want a healthy lawn and all the weeds gone, call Prescription Turf Care.
You never thought your child would get their own home so soon, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for this year's fall sports.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. Let's get ready to rumble. We love football season, and that means stove season is right around the corner. Buckeye Stoves. Check out our showroom with live displays on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. We offer 22 brands of stoves, fireplaces, and inserts. Wood, pellet, gas, and coal. BuckeyeStoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, live on WMVO. Brought to you in part by Pizza Cottage, Knox County Veteran Services, and Prescription Derf Care.
And we welcome you back here to Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon. And stop out tonight. Large 14-inch two-topping pizza, large garden salad, and breadsticks for $25 if you come out and place your order today. Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, also presented by Buckeye Stoves, Prescription Turf Care, Coverage Electric, and Construction. Page One Group with the mugs here that I did remember. Knox County Veteran Services and Pizza Cottage. Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets, appreciate them joining us here. Well, Coach, we'll talk about the game on Friday night. And you know, I was talking with Brian on Friday on the show, and I asked him, you know, he's a former coach and everything, and I said, it seems like teams are running the football a lot more. It's run heavy throughout the state maybe than it was. It was like that at one point. Then people spread it back out, and it seems like a lot of teams are running the football a lot more. I know in that game on Friday night at one point, you guys ran the ball 11 straight times. And, hey, when you got this up front and you can push people around, you can do something like that. Looking back at that game, you win 28-27. What stood out to you in a win against Watkins Memorial on the road? That's a very good win for you, Coach.
What stood out is just the way our guys hung together as a team. So many guys, not just Mason contributed. I mean, tailbacks, multiple tailbacks, Fitzpatrick, Jake Hubbard, even an offensive lineman in there with the fumble and the score. So we had guys in all the stat lines. I think offense average, 4-point-something a carry, offensive line. So just the way they're able to – they get down a little bit, and we felt like we were in control of the game the entire game. But early on, what were we down, 21-7?
21-7,
yeah. We're down 21-7. There was, no panic.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, this is what we need to do. We need to come out and get a turnover.
Yeah.
Well, we kick off right into the guy's leg. There's your turnover.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't all good in the second half. Offense had some ups and downs, got the ball back, threw a pick. But their willingness to stick to the plan has been the way they've done everything. Off season, hey, show up.
Yeah.
They show up, they do the speed work, they show up, they lift. So everything with this group has been consistency, which creates what? Confidence. So their consistencies create confidence. They're in games. If we're down 14, we know we got a shot. We're going to win.
Yeah.
We just got to make sure that we get off to a good start.
Yeah.
Last week was not a good start, but our fourth quarter training and some of the stuff we do kind of helped us out there and playing together as a team. The team chemistry is really good.
And you guys, of course, like you say, you trailed 21-7 with 3:41 left in the first half, and then you end up tying the game at 1 point, 21-21 on a 16-yard touchdown pass. And so you guys could throw the football, you could run the football as well. As that game gets tied at 21, what's the mindset on the sideline? What's the mindset on the field with the guys, too?
We're winning.
We're winning, yeah.
I mean, I looked in these guys' eyes. They're like, just keep running the football, coach.
Yep.
Just keep doing it, and they're just attacking. Like I said, they're in such good shape from the speed stuff that we do. You're still in the fourth quarter, they're getting up to linebackers. So even early in the game, if we're kind of only getting 3-4 yards, I'm fine with that, because trust the process. It's going to happen. It's going to crack. Our offensive coordinator does a phenomenal job of making running look fun.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not just pound it in the middle. It's very dynamic. Motions, fake screens off to the side, whatever. And the minute you think you got that covered, we got our tight end, Landon Dawson, down the seam catching it for a deep ball.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what's cool. It's very dynamic, and the minute you try to hone into one thing, we're sending it the other way.
Yeah. Caden, do you feel like you kind of get some momentum when you're out on the field and you guys are running the football quite a bit and you're running it efficiently? There's a little bit of momentum for the offensive line as well as obviously those guys running the football.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of momentum when we're running the ball, because when we're just driving it down their throat, we just get excited and we just want to do it more and more.
Yeah. And in a situation like that, can it be hard, Coach, where it's like, okay, we're down right now, but you say stick to the plan, run the football even down 14?
When you have a guy like Mason running the ball and a guy like Jake, these guys can take it in one play. So a 60-yard run's the same as a 60-yard pass. So that quick hit ability out of those guys, and then the way these guys pancake people. We actually had early in the season, we've had 2 penalties this year on excessive blocking.
Oh, excessive block. That's good, though.
Yeah, so this guy had his helmet off, and they said, well, you can't block with your helmet on
he
or
didn't care.
off. How in the moment, right?
Yeah,
and then Nolan they said, well, the ball was already in the end zone, and you kept blocking. Yeah. And he's just, this is my job, and this is what I'm going to do. So we don't turn those guys back on that. They just kind of got to know the time and place. But when you have guys that just have one job and they want to do it well, it's pretty easy.
Cohen, what stood out in that Watkins Memorial game? It's a back-and-forth contest late in the game. They go for 2 against you guys. You're able to stop it. So as the game went on, what stood out to you in the win against Watkins?
Like Coach said, we just kind of stuck together as a team. Whenever they go score, we kind of offense goes down. We get in a little huddle on the side, and we're like, hey, it doesn't matter. We're going to go score this next drive no matter what. Keep us in the game. So, you just got to keep that mindset. Like, we're going to go dominate. We're going to go control the game. So.
Any talk there at the halftime that you guys needed?
Our offensive coordinator just came in. He's like, hey, just keep doing what you're doing. We're running the ball well. We're just trying to keep control of the game, keep it our speed. So,
Caden, what stood out to you that game as it went on? You guys ended up tying the game, and obviously you end up winning it. What stood out to you in that ball game?
The sideline was really hyped when we were just driving the ball. I could hear them on the field, and they were just giving us the momentum that we needed.
Yeah. Coach, so let's go into this game here. So you guys tie the game up at 21 apiece on that 16-yard touchdown to Landon Dawson from Mason Richards, and then take us through that play where Nolan takes the ball. I don't even know how to describe it.
It was a simple stretch left, a Q stretch left. And
how much time's left in the game at that point?
It was like third quarter, maybe 3-something in the third left.
Yeah.
And as we're driving the ball, we're running the ball very well, 5-6 yards. Like, you felt like it's going to the end zone. Well, he gets stopped, and he kind of like turns his back to the guy, and it's just kind of like cradling it. And it's starting to kind of roll out. I don't know. And it was funny because I knew Nolan missed his block, and that's why he was running over. I'm like, Nolan, you just missed this wide open linebacker, and that's the guy that smacked Mason.
Yeah.
So it was like a purposeful hook and lateral, like a running hook and lateral. And it was like they were on a wavelength that they didn't even know they were on.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of like non-verbally just, here, take it.
Yeah.
And then he takes off, and everybody's standing there. No one's chasing.
Yeah, I wondered about that. It was this guy. Did they think it was dead or something?
I thought the refs would just bring it back and say, okay, we're going to replay this down from here.
Yeah.
But then they signaled touchdown, and I'm like, this might be one of the craziest things I've seen.
Yeah.
So I've had linemen score, but not
like that
awkwardly. But
hey, Justin Sanford, shout out Justin. He was down the sideline running.
Isn't that great? Yeah. So, and there was our ball boys down there excited. So that's the energy these guys bring every day.
Yeah.
So at practice, it's like every day they're competing against our starting D-line. So pretty cool.
Now let's go towards the end of the game. Watkins Memorial's playing at home. So when they get it, they want to try to score here. What was the plan there? I think it was Damon Wolf that came through. What happened there?
We kind of were overloaded to that side, so why they went to that side, I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did, but they went for the 2, and I think they felt like if it goes into overtime, we're getting beat. So they made a decision. We called a timeout right before that to make them think about it because they had their kicker out there.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought so too.
Called a timeout, said let them think about it.
Yeah.
They thought about it, came out.
Yeah.
And the tackle comes to kick out our outside backer. And our backer squeezed it and ankle tackle. Boom. Done.
Wow.
So it was just like the craziest series of events. If they go left, it's an easy 2.
Yeah.
But they decided to go right to where we were kind of sending the pressure.
Yeah, and of course you get a big victory there. And Cohen, at the end of the game, what's the thought process? I mean, your defense is on the field. You guys have been playing your butts off, and you guys get that stop. What was the feeling like?
Actually, on the field goal, I was out there. I was ready to come block it. I was just ready. But obviously, coach called the timeout. I came over, and I'm not gonna lie. I think I turned my back, and I think I prayed just for something, a miracle or something.
Sure.
But it happened. I was just super excited.
Awesome.
I think I ran onto the field. So
awesome. For you, Caden, what was it like that in the moment where you guys have been playing hard, and now comes down to this almost right here? What was the thought process?
Well, I was on the field before the timeout, too. I was at linebacker when Coach Weber called the timeout.
Yeah.
And I knew their defense was going to stop it. I have full faith in them, and they stopped it, and I believed in them.
Cohen, the fans came out. The students, I heard that there was like spirit buses and everything. How much does that energy does that bring for you guys when you are in a big ball game like that at Watkins Memorial? You win the game. How much of a factor are the fans in that?
Our fans are awesome. They come wherever we go. So, and especially the student section. I think we had 2 or 3 buses come down for the student section, and even at home, they're awesome. We have a great hive leader. He just gets them going. So it's awesome to see.
What about the fans there, Caden? How awesome are they?
Our fans are really. I love our fans. Compared to Clear Forks, our fans are like top 10 in Ohio.
There you go. I like it. Coach, matchup with Licking Heights. Just give us kind of a synopsis of what this team likes to do, what they're about, and just your thoughts on the game Friday.
Basically a 60-40 run-pass team. The Shackelford kid is really good quarterback. He's fast. He's quick. Probably one of the fastest quarterbacks we've seen. They want to run the ball early on, and then get you sucking up, and then they're gonna play action you. So probably overall team speed, probably one of the fastest teams we've seen. Probably top 2. They have speed everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see it if you guys are doing the game. Correct.
We're gonna be there. Yep. Curtis will see it.
This line, it looks like a college line.
Oh, wow.
They're huge.
Oh, wow.
Bigger than last week, bigger than the Watkins players.
Yeah.
So we have to use our speed because you can't go toe-to-toe with these big guys like that.
Yeah.
So use our speed, use angles. Like I said, they're a big D2 school.
Yeah.
So they have plenty of kids to pick from. And then what's unique about them is their backs are really quick. Like probably 4'6", 4'5" guys, a couple of them.
Yeah.
So if you don't have some of their option plays down, so we'll practice without a ball and some stuff this week where, hey, you have quarterback, you have tailback. Pull and they have something unique where they'll pull left and they'll go right.
Yeah.
So there's kind of some misread and miskeys there that one side better do their job, the other side better do their job.
Well, Friday night, Curtis will have it. WMVO Facebook page, YouTube channel. Will's going to be with them, and on the radio, of course, on WMVO as well. Best of luck to you guys. Thanks so much for coming down. Jackets will be looking for their first 5-game win streak since 2014, and we're looking forward to being there with them. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on the program, the Mount Vernon Yellow Jackets. Let's take this break. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Talk with East Knox next on WMVO.
Time and Temperature is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. Let's get ready to rumble. We love football season, and that means stove season is right around the corner. Buckeye Stoves. Check out our showroom with live displays on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. We offer 22 brands of stoves, fireplaces, and inserts. Wood, pellet, gas, and coal. BuckeyeStoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
So I got this neighbor, Dave. He was kind of curious about my lawn. He grumbled that he bought a patch fix for his yard. Well, it didn't fix the patch. I tried to tell him, call Prescription Turf Care. Come aerate and overseed in the fall. You get a nice, thick, healthy yard next year that goes great with that nice, thick, juicy steak right here. Call 740-397-1203 and ask about a free no-obligation estimate. And remember, if you want a healthy lawn and all the weeds gone, you call Prescription Turf Care.
Call Prescription Turf Care.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
You never thought your child would get their own home so soon, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for this year's fall sports.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
WMVO Weather Center forecast.
It's currently 75 degrees under clear skies. The wind is from the south at 6 miles per hour. The forecast for this evening, mostly cloudy with a light breeze with a slight chance of rain. The temp 69 degrees. Overnight, cloud-filled skies with a light breeze with occasional rain, about 64 degrees. And then tomorrow, cloudy with some wind with occasional rain, 67 degrees. That's Storm Track weather on the heart of Knox County, WMVO.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, live on WMVO. Brought to you in part by Page One Group, Buckeye Stoves, and Cubbage Electric and Construction.
All right, we welcome you back to Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon, and it's the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Thanks to Griffin Insurance, Buckeye Stoves, Prescription Turf Care, Cubbage Electric and Construction, Page One Group, Knox County Veteran Services, and Pizza Cottage for having us out here, of course, for the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show. Now, is that your son sitting back there?
That is, yeah, that's my
all right,
son,
now
Rush.
listen, he has all the pizza there, and we told him he could come up here and be a part of this. But he said, well, there's a lot of pizza here. I'll just finish that off now.
I didn't raise no dummy, that's for sure.
Appreciate Andy Beatty joining us here, Caden Riddenauer, and Dakota Cooper. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with us here. East Knox Bulldogs going into this week, you take on the Fredericktown Freddies. We're going to have that game on our WMVO YouTube channel, so watch out for that. Thanks to Facebook, they're not letting us do 2 games at a time. You know, Gary, he had to change up his whole idea. And he is an East Knox Bulldog. You want to bark there for us, Gary? Okay, he said no. All right. No, but we appreciate you guys joining us here on the program. Well, Coach, you look at last week, and we've said it before. It's no joke here with the East Knox Bulldogs and the KMAC and just overall. no off nights, 0 in the KMAC. You don't have one with Loudonville. You don't have one with Northmore. You guys played the other night. Centerburg, Fredericktown, Danville, all these different teams. You don't have an off night. And for you guys taking on Northmore last week, 47-13. You don't play on Sundays, but 47-13. Where you're at right now in the season, and we look at your season to this point, and you've got a guy, Jack Lester, who's leading the conference in passing, and some of the top wide receivers in the conference as well. But what stood out with this team this year through 7 games, 70% of the regular season?
Yeah, I think what has stood out, we knew coming into it we were going to be young and experienced, new across the board. Our D-line group, there's only 3 D linemen that were even on the team last year. Out of 15 there. And so, we knew there was going to be a big learning curve, and every week we feel like we're stacking, days. We're learning, we're growing, we're improving. However, it's also really hard in the KMAC because every week your opponent is doing the same thing. And our schedule is kind of backloaded here with some really tough competition. And so, for us, we want to see these guys embrace the ugly, the challenge, lean in, and just learn to compete and fight through every single obstacle that's in front of them. And this, this is my 11th season coaching. This has been one of the most coachable groups of young men I've ever been around. They have taken whatever challenge we've given them, and they're going to give me their best. And so that's one of the things I get the most excited about, even when it's not lining up in the win columns. We've been telling them repeatedly, we are improving. We're getting better. In fact, we even go back sometimes and watch film from early in the year to more recent film to be able to show them the truth of that.
Yeah. We talked with Ed Honebarger of Loudonville, and, they didn't win a game last year, and this year they got up to a better start and things like that. And he said, we really just needed to simplify football for these guys. Is that kind of how it was for you guys? Did you simplify high school football?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. When we're not having to think, we're able to play really fast. And so, there are times where it can be a lot of fun to sit down in the coach's office or with a whiteboard and come up with a million schemes and concepts and things. But at the end of the day, I want these young men to be confident in what they're doing, to know how they're going to do it. And so, we want to simplify things while also still balancing that with putting our athletes in the best position to be successful. And so, we've kind of had, at times I'd say an evolution during this season of our approach. We are leading the league in passing, and that's not something I've ever been accused of doing a lot of. So it's been a different and unique experience for us.
Blake Elliott's not playing anymore.
Right, yeah.
Can't hand it to Blake anymore.
Yeah, Blake right, Blake left, can't,
Caden Ridenour with us, a junior. What position you play for the East Knox Bulldogs?
I'm a tackle, and I play inside backer.
All right. Well, you look at this season to this point. You guys sit at 1-6 right now, but some opportunities in front of you to mess up some seasons. And, Loudonville just played Fredericktown really tough on Friday night, took them overtime. You get a chance with Fredericktown this week. What have been some of the challenges maybe for you and for the team this year, or maybe some of the things you say, like Coach has mentioned, maybe there's that breakthrough moment as the season's gone on?
We're just looking to get better. Challenges we face, like as Coach Beatty said, the schedule's more loaded towards the end, and we're just looking to get better each day and stack days and come out with a couple W's and to ruin a couple of seasons and a couple playoff hopes.
Yeah, there you go. Well, with this right now and what you do on the offensive line and defensively as well, what have been some of the things you focused on personally as the season's gone on?
Just being a leader. Getting like Coach Beatty said, we're really underclass and not very many seniors. So being the junior, you got to step up and become that leader that some of the guys have never experienced. So just getting them into practice and stacking days and just being that leader.
Is it hard? Is it hard when you're sitting on a season where it is 1-6 right now, but you say, "Hey, we've got to stay positive." As a leader, you've got to stay positive in that situation.
Yeah, it gets hard to show up and be there every single day, putting forth the effort, but you just gotta overcome tough things and just get through it and keep stacking days.
You mentioned that you can ruin some seasons, and you certainly can. You got a great opportunity with that as well. Dakota Cooper, a junior. What position you play for?
I play receiver and corner.
All right. Appreciate you spending some time with us here as well. You go into the season right now. looking at week 1 to going through week 7, what has been maybe the biggest improvement you've seen with this East Knox team? And maybe personally as well, you've had a great season on the outside for the East Knox Bulldogs.
I would say we've really improved with just pushing through, just bring our best and fight, honestly.
Is it easier to be a wide receiver when you know you got Jax to be able to just throw? I wasn't sure if I would say the right Lester name because there's a lot of them. But with Jax there slinging around, hey, you're going to be involved because he likes to throw that ball around the field.
Oh, yeah, having Jack back there makes me happy. I mean, he does pretty good for us.
Yeah, and, Coach, you look at where you're at right now, and, again, last week you took on the Northmore Gold Knights 47-13, but I want to go back to the Loudonville game. Your one win this season, and I want to look at that game. What went right in that ball game? Because that is no slouch. I mean, Ed's doing a really good job with that team over there, and you win that football game, and it had to be a good feeling. And I know you talked about it when you called in on that Friday night. You said the monkey's kind of up our back, right? The monkey's up our back here. What went right in that game against Loudonville that you can say we could build off of what we did in that Loudonville game?
Yeah, I think that game was interesting because we had, I think we caused or were the beneficiary of 6 turnovers, and that first quarter ended, we were up 21-0. And so, for us, I think we are an explosive offense, but then as the game went on, we were able to run the ball, grind the clock, and do those things. And so what I think stood out for me was these young men, when they believe in what they're capable of, when they believe in themselves, great things happen. So whether they think they can or they think they can't, they tend to be right.
Yeah.
And so that game is a really good example of it. I think, we, stood toe-to-toe with Colonel Crawford for, at half down just 2 points. Gilead for, fourth quarter, it's 16-7. And so I think these guys are seeing that, they are very capable. Our margin for error is small, but most teams do have a small margin for error. And so, I think for them to recognize and realize that they're going to experience the fruit of this hard time at some point, even if it's not right now.
Caden, when you look back at that Loudonville game, what stood out in a win? It's got to feel good, like you said, to get that victory. What stood out in that one? Because, again, Loudonville's a tough football team.
Yeah. Defense really stood out to me.
Sure.
Coach Thomas drew up a great game plan, and we were just stout to the run and what they wanted to do. We knew what they wanted to do, and we attacked it. And Jack obviously got it. We all got it done on offense, but defense really stood out, just stopping the run and what they really wanted to do.
Dakota, that win against Loudonville, getting that first victory, had to feel pretty good. What stood out in that one?
I would say just executing. We really executed. We stayed on top of things. We were just played our hearts out, really.
Coach, after that game happened for Cardington the week before they played you guys, I happened to be in Cardington, and somebody left our banner. And so I happened to be in Cardington, and Ryan sent me this picture, and I went over there to the school to pick it up, and he said, we play East Knox on Friday. And he said, this is going to be a tough football game. They're a good football team. And in that game, you guys got edged, I think, by a point in that game. But you talk about you win, and then you come that close and everything. What stood out in the Cardington-Lincoln game where you guys are battling, you end up losing by a point? That's the reigning player of the year on that team, and Wyatt Denny, and that team is a good football team too. What stood out in that one, even though it was a close loss? Yeah,
and you can see why Wyatt Denny is the reigning or the returning KMAC player of the year. He runs hard, he falls forward, and Urban Meyer once said that he's never been a part of a game where luck was really involved, and I agree with that. But that was one of those games where, man, it just seemed like everything was just out of reach. We had them backed up inside the 1, and they fumbled their shotgun snap, and Denny picks it up and runs 30 yards down the sideline. I mean, it's just a busted play. We had them at a 1st and 40 at one point, and they end up converting on really 2 Hail Marys in a row. And so, that was really challenging. But I think our team also saw, man, when we are clicking, some good stuff happens. I saw a lot of growth. Caden here, he played D-line last year. He's our middle linebacker. He's like 3rd in the league in tackles, and his growth has been phenomenal. And that game, the Loudonville game, stood out because we're funneling a lot of stuff to him and the safeties. Cooper is playing multiple receiver spots, and there are times where I'll go to Cooper after a play and I'll be like, hey, if I say this, do you know, and we'll kind of draw it up in the dirt, and he'd be like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, okay, we're running that right now. and scored on the one. That was pretty cool. So
backyard football, baby.
Yeah, it very much was. So their growth is phenomenal. And, you know, whether it's a win or a loss, a lot of times you learn more from a loss than a win. So we've been doing a lot of learning this year, and we'd like to start learning from the wins instead. But it's certainly more enjoyable to learn from the wins. But as long as you're learning, good stuff will happen.
When you guys look at the Cardington-Lincoln game to move back, and it ends up being a 1-point game, what do you grab from something like that? You win, and then you play a game in Cardington-Lincoln, and it's close, and you kind of feel like, man, we know we're close. We talked about Mount Vernon last year; they're close, and this year they were kind of busting through and getting those wins. And in that situation in Cardington-Lincoln, what stood out in that loss there?
It just keeps you driven. You know, the 1-point losses, it just keeps you driven to work more and get the wins, essentially, just during practice and everything that we've went through.
Yeah, Dakota, that game against Cardington-Lincoln, you know, you're playing at home. It's a close, tight ball game. What stood out to you in that ball game against Cardington-Lincoln?
Our defense wasn't very great. We didn't tackle very well like we knew we could, and I really think like that sold us the game, honestly.
There you go. Well, we're going to talk about the Northmore game, and then, of course, get you ready for the matchup this week as well when you take on the Fredericktown Freddies, which, you know, they got some explosive guys, and you do too. So we're going to talk about that matchup as well. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show here on WMVO. Let's take this break, come back, and more coming up.
Time and Temperature is brought to you by
Knox County Veteran Services, located at 105 East Chestnut Street, Mount Vernon. Stop in and see us today.
This is Lorraine from Buckeye Stoves. Let's get ready to rumble. We love football season, and that means stove season is right around the corner. Buckeye Stoves. Check out our showroom with live displays on State Route 95 in Fredericktown. We offer 22 brands of stoves, fireplaces, and inserts. Wood, pellet, gas, and coal. BuckeyeStoves.com. Buckeye Stoves, the cozy way to save.
Whether it's your home, farm, auto, business, RV, or boat, Griffin Insurance has you covered. Located at 300 Coshocton Avenue in Mount Vernon, we've been protecting what matters most to Knox County for decades. Call 740-397-7488 today and experience the trusted local service you deserve. Griffin Insurance, coverage you can count on from people you know.
You never thought your child would get their own home so soon, but it needs new wiring pulled and the kitchen could use a makeover. It's time to get in touch with Cubbage Electric and Construction. Give Brian and his team a call at 740-627-8004.
Cubbage Electric and Construction is a proud sponsor for this year's fall sports.
Cubbage Electric and Construction, 740-627-8004.
Page One Group in beautiful Mount Vernon has your best interest in mind when it comes to you and your printing needs. Whether it's printing, design, laser engraving, or sublimation, there isn't a texture we can't print on. Promotional products are how you keep people coming back, and that's where we come in. Your business is our business. Page One Group, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Call 740-397-0262 and visit us on Scott Road.
So I got this neighbor, Dave. He was kind of curious about my lawn. Grumbled that he bought a patch fix for his yard. Well, it didn't fix the patch. I tried to tell him, call Prescription Turf Care. Come aerate and overseed in the fall. You get a nice, thick, healthy yard next year that goes great with that nice, thick, juicy steak right here. Call 740-397-1203 and ask about a free, no-obligation estimate. And remember, if you want a healthy lawn and all the weeds gone, call Prescription Turf Care.
Call Prescription Turf Care.
Pizza Cottage in Mount Vernon is one of 11 pizza cottages in Ohio. They are among the nation's best performing pizzerias and ranked in Pizza Today. The finest ingredients is used daily. Treat your customers and employees like family and always give back to the community. Offering not only takeout but also dine-in and full bar. Book your group parties today. Find Pizza Cottage on Facebook or go to pizza-cottage.com to begin your journey of tastes.
Veterans serving veterans.
That's what we do here at Knox County Veteran Services. Hi, I'm Kevin Henthorne, your Executive Director.
And I'm Financial Coordinator Melissa Schenk.
And we're here to meet the needs of Knox County veterans and their families.
We can help with emergency financial assistance,
filing of disability and pension claims, VA healthcare enrollment, and even transportation to VA healthcare facilities.
Please give us a call at 740-393-6742 or stop in and see us at our new location at 105 East Chestnut Street in Mount Vernon.
You're listening to the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show, live on WMVO. Brought to you in part by Pizza Cottage, Knox County Veteran Services, and Prescription Derp Care.
All right, we are back here. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show from Pizza Cottage, and Rush left one piece of pizza back there for you. Now, I'm teasing. Curtis actually looked. I fooled him. He was like, look, he put his binoculars on to look over there. But no, appreciate you guys joining us. East Knox Bulldogs here. Andy Beatty, Caden Ridenour, and Dakota Cooper. Appreciate you guys joining us. You take on the Northmore Golden Knights, and again, they're a good football team too, and you guys fall to them 47-13 last week. And Coach Armrose does such a great job with Northmore. And again, there's no off weeks and things, but what stood out good and bad in that volume?
Yeah, Coach Armrose does an awesome job. He's always got his team ready to play, and it's been interesting seeing the evolution of his team over the years. You know, when he was first kind of the wing tee, but from shotgun, and now spread and a lot of choice routes and different things. But something that's been consistent is they're always incredibly disciplined, athletic. They rally to the ball, and something about going to turf when you've not been on turf, there is a little bit of a learning curve there with it, and so. It was a very frustrating night for sure. It was just kind of one of those where it felt like, just didn't feel like we maybe got fully off the bus. And there was, at times just frustration. There was times where things that we were used to being able to do just weren't happening. And so, it was one of those games that we look back on and we kind of scratch our heads and wonder, why it came out that way. But, to their credit, Saturday morning we had a really good film session and kind of what I call a come to Jesus talk. It's like we can't do that again because that was a miserable experience Friday. It really was. Every aspect of that. If we could give money back to the fans, we would, because that was a miserable night. And so we came up with a plan Saturday morning to correct that, and the boys have leaned in and worked hard at that. So.
Coach, as you look at your ball game this week against Fredericktown, what do you see with the Fredericktown Freddies, a team that's got talent? Now they're going to be without one of their top players here, but still, you got a lot of talent on that football team. Yeah, a lot of talent there, and Coach Spittler has done some incredible things throughout his career. Of course, he was my defensive line coach and D coordinator at Mount Vernon when I played there, and I highly respect him, and he knows what he's doing. He knows his stuff. And so you can see that when you watch the film and you break it down that, they know how to click and they know how to move that offense. And it's interesting because I think people look at it and they say, oh, well, it's a rugby scrum or it's football in a phone booth. And I think to the casual observer it might look that way, but there's a lot more going on there than you would realize. And so I think for us, the big thing we have been preaching today and the rest of this week is we just need people to do their 1/11th. If we do that, I feel really confident in our ability to make them earn whatever they get. So, and they've got athletes. There's no, Blake Sipes, one of the fastest kids in the league, and their tight end Gavin Toombs is a legit threat. And, they do a good job of, even with that, still kind of moving the ball around and capitalizing on it. Caden, when you look at this week, you take on the Fredericktown Freddies. What do you want to see from your group? How can you guys come out of there with a victory against the Freddies?
We just gotta be gap sound, and like Coach Beatty said, do our 1/11th. Whether that's getting your hand on this man at this time or being in this spot at this time to do your 1/11th to stop whatever they want to do. So, yeah, just knowing what you have to do and where you need to be at this time, it makes a big difference when every guy on the defense is doing what they need to do.
Yeah. Dakota, what do you got to do against the Fredericktown Freddies this upcoming Friday night?
We need to be physical. We know that they like to run the ball, but we got to bring 11 hats to the ball, everyone tackling, and Yeah, just be physical.
You hear that horn going off? I got to mention that every time you guys come on. You still hear that?
We love the horn.
Yeah, you like Lindsay's horn there. I heard she got a new one, and you could hear it in Kentucky. No.
That sounds about right.
Gets the job done.
Before we wrap up here, Dakota, the Devil Dog game is going to be coming up here in a few weeks. What's the importance that East Knox puts on the Devil Dog game?
Win at all costs.
Yeah, take care of business there. Game's at Danville, right?
Yeah.
It is at Danville this
week. It is
week.
at Danville.
Yeah. Caden, Devil Dog game. Same thing? Just win at all costs.
Yeah, we got to win. It's do or die, and that's we got to win.
All
that's
right.
it.
Devil Dog game going to be coming up before you know it. But, Coach, do you think about where you guys can be? You play at home against Fredericktown. You get Centerburg at home, so two of the better teams in the league. You get them at your place. It'll make you feel a little bit better with a situation like that, and you get a really good chance to grow.
Yeah. We love playing at home. I mean, I think our stadium is unique.
Yeah.
It's loud, and Howard County always shows up. You know, whether we're 1-6 or 6-1, they do a great job supporting these young men because I think they know what they put into it. And so, yeah, I mean, if we're going to have to go against some of those great teams, I'd much rather do it in Howard County than elsewhere. And so, you know, and it's one game at a time. But I think these guys also know that they've been building. They're able to look back and see that. And so, you know, I want to encourage them to continue doing what winners do, even if we've not gotten to experience as much of that as we'd like.
Last thing here, we talked about the last time you were in here. Give us an update on Aiden Riggle, a guy that you've been you start to put things in perspective this year, right? Things are put into perspective when you talk about this. Update on Aiden Riggle and just how you guys been playing for him throughout this season.
Yeah, it has added a ton of perspective, win or lose, the highs and lows of, you know, our own, you know, injuries or setbacks. I think with Aiden it has shifted that. Just got a text actually on the way here. He's currently in the hospital. He had started chemo about a week and a half ago, and you know, that I'll just kind of leave it there. But you know, there's definitely a lot of prayers that are needed. You know, we're asking really boldly. We're just asking God to do a miracle here. You know, and we believe that He can do it. But Aiden has been an inspiration for all of us because whenever we talk to him, he doesn't want to talk about his health. He doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to talk football. He wants to talk defensive fronts, and he still is he's got this burn and this desire that he feels like he's letting us down somehow. And I wish from the innermost part of my being, I want him to know that he's not let us down. He's given us more strength and inspiration than he probably could ever realize.
I think I speak for Curtis and Gary as well, is that we're behind you guys and Aiden's fight as well, and certainly, you know, we wish him the best, and certainly appreciate you guys talking about his, because it only helps somebody who's going through maybe the same thing to understand that. But appreciate you guys joining us here on the program. Andy Beatty, Caden Ridenour, and Dakota Cooper, thank you so much for joining us here. And we'll get Rush to actually come up here instead of eating all your pizza.
Yeah.
But appreciate you guys joining us. Thanks to Curtis and Gary behind the camera. They always do a great job because we know if I pushed any of those buttons, it would not be good. We would not be on the air, that's for sure. Appreciate these guys joining us here. Look forward to catching up with East Knox in a couple of weeks before the Devil Dog game. It is the Griffin Insurance Monday Night Sports Talk Show live from Pizza Cottage.